get it. 2 Samuel 12, verse 9. Right. And y'all know that every time you go to the doctor, he give you two things. He say you can take prescription. No, he give you first thing the diet, which they order to. You can take this diet. Get off the pork and the salt.
Get off the what?
Get off the salt.
That's the first thing they say.
And the salt. So heavy sodium is killing them. So they give you this first. Eat this type of diet. Put this clean fuel in your body. If you struggling, you're going to take this.
Right.
Now, you're going to have to decide, because this costs $80 for 30 tablets once a month. And you got 3 bags of prescriptions. You got 4 or 5 medicines you taking. You are spending more on medication than you are on rent. Stop it. Now you got to make a decision. That's all you have to do. You just, I know it tastes good back then. It's wicked and sweet like all sin.
Right.
But if you just can't get a cold chilling sandwich with mayo out of your mind, it's a problem.
Oh, chilling sandwich. That's good advertising.
Let's get Samuel chapter 12, verse 9. Wherefore hast thou despised the commandment of the Lord? What did he do? Wherefore hast thou despised the commandment of the Lord? And what he despised is Deuteronomy 22. If a man taketh another man's wife, he shall surely be put to death. But that's what David did. That had nothing to do with polygamy. Because the Lord had already told him, I done gave you some more wives, that's what you want. But you took somebody else's, David. This has nothing to do with polygamy. If they say it led to David doing this, then David had that problem before wife number 1. If you look in his background, he had to be doing it then if you want to use that term against David for polygamy. But polygamy didn't make David do that.
Right.
David didn't go to war, so first off, he done broke the commandments of the kings already. He was supposed to be out there to war. Let the other nations see that the king is here. Represent. He's supposed to show up. Like Bush will show up. Like one of them will show up and they'll tell you, look, this is the decision we got. Either you deal with what we saying or nuclear coming. And the king walk off. They know who the king of that nation ain't playing. David laying back letting his general pound. So even though he called Uriah and put him in the forefront so he would be killed, Bathsheba husband, they was warned against the Ammonites. So it says the sword you kill him would never leave your house. Like on black crime, it started with David. Because after that, we went on a killing spree on each other. David owned 2 sons. One son of David killed the other son. And then his other son took all his wives and slept with them. His sons became MFs. All because David broke the law where it says a man should not go to another man's wife. This is the deal. Then he tried to cover it up with murder and hide and drunkenness. So he just kept escalating. And then when Nathan asked him, what would you do if you knew a man like that? David said, I'd kill him. He said, well, it's you?
Well, his heart had to fall out.
Right there, you see somebody standing here with shovels, ready to dig your grave.
And not only that, David was quoted as a man that had a heart like the Most High.
So that ain't mean in 22.
That ain't mean he ain't never sinned. He never bowed his knee to another God. Right, like his son Solomon did. David tripped. He was a murderer. He was an adulterer. He numbered Israel a couple times.
Right.
But one thing you see, whenever David tripped, he got on his face in the dirt and repented to the Lord for what he did. And he never returned again to that sin. That's different. That's Psalm 51. If you ever read Psalm 51, that's David pouring out his heart about what he did to Uriah, about Bathsheba. And the Lord never let us forget it either, because he mentioned it in Matthew 1 when he mentioned in the Joseph line in the lineage. And it says Bathsheba, who was the mother of Solomon, who was the wife of Uriah. So the Most High say, ain't nothing going away. I want y'all to see this so y'all don't get on the wrong kick about polygamy. But understand this, y'all, those groups that's teaching legal polygamy now and telling you to get involved with that is a hustle game. Yeah, they really not teaching legal polygamy, because you can't go get more than one marriage license.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So what they teaching is that, okay, well, you can just leave to the government as if you got 5, 6 different girlfriends. Like, it ain't no crime for that per se. You know what I'm saying? But if they want to get it legally on paper, you can't do that. Unless you talking about Utah, like bro was saying.
In most states, after 8 years, you have to acknowledge common law. If you don't go to the government saying, look, you just ain't gonna play the whoremonger in America. The common law, she's now eligible for half of what you got. Common law. Y'all, you think you can shack till the sun go down? No, sooner or later, you're gonna have to tighten that up. If you don't, both y'all names on the bill, you go to court, she getting half. They don't care about no, Missouri don't do common law though. But they got about 23, 25 other states that do common law. So ain't no way around that foolishness, y'all, of this. This is just how these false leaders get control of their elders. They tell them, they promise them this. It's the same thing in the Quran. They say if you pull a suicide mission and at your resurrection, 70 virgins and all the goat milk you can drink. So y'all wondering why they in them planes and driving in the building. Just thought of the next waking moment. Goat milk galore and 70 virgins.
Ain't that way better than what they existence they live in now?
No, the Most High don't play games like that with us and dealing with a woman and taking her and humbling her like that and then leave her out to dry. Or taking all these wives and hell, you can't feed yourself. Huh? So thin on your shoe, you step on the water, you can tell what year it is, and you talking about taking care of 3, 4 wives. Had to be paid. You had to give her father 30 shekels of silver.
So you
had something like that. You're taking work out of his house. His daughter provides work. She's so clothes in the house. She's washing dishes. She's doing this with her mother. You pull that away. You taking wealth from the house. You just can't go get nobody's daughter like, look, I'm gonna marry you and ain't got no dowry to the money. All of this is out of control. Fornication at a high level, and we are saying it's legal according to the Bible, but you won't find that scripture nowhere in here to do that. It has to be public acknowledgement. Everybody knows. We get married tomorrow. Room jumping time. However you want to say it, but the whole public knows. And you gave us something, whether it's an earring or something that where if another man saw it, okay, that's Mally's wife. You step off. But this don't matter today because we such in a wicked generation. First thing they ask you happy? You don't look happy. What you want? One of these margaritas things right here. You give her the best one you got. And intervene in there. The whole thing is never to take care of you. It's a one-night stand. It's lust. It's for unlawful carnal knowledge. Call me the next day, man. What happened with that you left at the club serving the parking lot? Oh, I put unlawful carnal knowledge her all night. You want the number? Nope. But courting and according to the doctrine of the law, you meet somebody, you next day, man, what happened with that? Man, went down by the arch steps. Man, you know, we got people together in Mississippi. Actually, man, my uncle went to school with her daddy. You knowing about the family, you caught, you understand it, you learn. Man, also, you know, she going to school too, this and that. Man, I think I done found my soulmate. Man, so what? I ain't never been like this before. I didn't even try to kiss her. I'm supposed to meet our parents tomorrow. Totally different from circling and got one thing on your mind. The only thing on your mind is the hot sheep jump.
Verse 9. 2 Samuel 12:9. Wherefore hast thou despised the commandment of the Lord, to do evil in his sight? Thou hast killed Uriah the Hittite with the sword, and hast taken his wife to be thy wife, and hast slain him with the sword of the children of Ammon. Now therefore, the sword shall never depart from thine house.
Did it say next week it'll depart?
Never depart from thine house.
Next month around Passover?
Never depart from thine house.
That's right. Still sword. Israel still at each other's throats. Because David is the king. This is why the scripture, and they'll go to that Leviticus on, I believe, the 23, where it says a king shouldn't multiply wives, but that's a king. A king shouldn't multiply wives. But we see the Most High said, I gave you the wives of them.
He said, I gave.
I'll get it for you, sister, right here. I think it's Leviticus 23 where kings don't multiply wives.
Not too many wives.
Not too many wives.
Like Solomon had 1,000.
Solomon had 700 wives. And we look at 1 Kings 8. 1 Kings 11. 17.
All right, verse 10. Now therefore, the sword shall never depart from thine house.
Right.
Because thou hast despised me, and hast taken the wife of Uriah the Hittite to be thy wife.
Now understand what despise means. They counted as worthless. David knew once they said, when you see in 1 Samuel 11, when it said, he said, who is that?
She looked good.
That's the right. Wait, who? That's my chief captain. Yeah. Well, what are you doing with this Israelite woman? Well, he's in the fold, David. He's your top general. Do you know how many people you ride and slave for you?
Okay. Get his woman over her. Lust. He loved, and that was worthy of death. David knew that. David could have been dead. According to the law, you're supposed to be killed for that.
Right.
Laying with another man's wife.
But the Most High knows the hearts of men. It ain't no precursor. He knew that David would repent immediately when it was brought forth to him. If David had kept on hiding. Who said who? Well, David don't look like me. But that first baby died. Because the Most High said that baby can't live because he got her pregnant. The baby couldn't live because it was wicked. It's the same thing that happened with Noah getting off the ark. And Ham saw the nakedness of his father and uncovered the nakedness of his father. He saw it and uncovered it. So when we look at Leviticus 18, if the man that uncovered his father's wife has lain with his father, he's an MF. Ham committed incest. That's why immediately the next verse, and cursed be Canaan, the offspring of Noah's wife. He wasn't even there. Right. It didn't have nothing to do with color. It was from that incestual act with his daddy's wife. While his daddy was, now first thing, Noah shouldn't have been drunk. He didn't know what was going on. Because the script here, you don't get drunk. But Habakkuk 2:15 say, woe be to the man that give his neighbor to drink, the bottle to drink, that he may be drunken, so that he may look upon his nakedness. So y'all ever seen Devil in the Blue Dress with Denzel? When old boy got loaded up, what happened to him?
When he hit the egg, hit his wife.
And when he wake up saying, they killed her. Now I know she'd have never done nothing like that. She only had eyes for me. No. If you had been sober and woke, you'd have seen who her eyelids was batting for. And it wasn't you. So we have to understand, y'all, these laws are strict. They to the point. They don't waver each way. You try to manipulate them, you will be dealt with. And this is what it say. If you do sin presumptuously, I know I'm going to do it, I just don't give it. That's despising the law. They done told you everything is wrong, but you say, shit, I'm doing it anyway. So you got to be prepared for the consequences. And David got prepared for lifelong consequences. This was one, he had to take this one to the grave. And we forgiven for it. But that sin going to the grave.
And that curse has never departed the house of David.
Right.
Us being descendants of the house of David here in America, the sword has never departed his house. It's black on black crime all over.
We have our own.
Verse 11.